So welcome, here I am back in Grasmere. Now I'm back on the coast to coast, picking up from where I left off 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks later, my nose has healed, I'm raring to go. I've got 9 days to see how far I can do this time on the coast to coast. Unfortunately, my friend Grant got a bad back the last week at work before coming on this, so he can't make it, so I hope you're better soon, Grant. So walking from Grasmere to Patterdale, so 8 miles I'm hoping to do this morning. Starting at just before 10 by the time I got over here. Stayed last night in Kendal, so that was nice. Got in a bit later than expected, but it wasn't too bad. It's only like 3 hours from London Euston. It's amazing, really. But anyway, so got in last night, stayed in the travel lodge, and we had to get the bus over here. It still took an hour and a half to get over here this morning. So now the earliest I could get here was like just after 9:30. So now it's about 10. So I'm going to go for the whole day, see how far I can go. I want to get through Patterdale in the next, I don't know, 4 hours or so. And then beyond from there, I think it's 15 miles to Shap. I don't know if I'm going to do all that. I may try and, if the weather holds up, I'll try and camp somewhere. And the good news is, the weather I can actually see, and it's not actually raining at the moment. It's bound to be rain, but hopefully it's not like last time. So far you can actually see the hills, can see the views, and I'm optimistic that just this last stretch through the lakes, some high altitude today, going to be 500 meters this morning, and then 700 meters this afternoon, which is the highest point on the coast to coast. So yeah, it's not an easy day by any stretch, but really feeling good about it. Going to take it in my stride, hopefully. No fear. The big difference is that the stones are dry. And actually there's a bridge as well. Good news is it's going through the valley. You can see where the wall goes. Not over the top, at least at this point anyway. And then I think it will go up higher at the end of the valley. First shower of the day, and as soon as you put this on it stops, but maybe that's a good thing. Anyway, I'm just making sure I keep everything dry again. I've got everything in dry bags anyway. Too far now to get over this craggy section. You can see it's quite challenging again, but I'm okay. Just going to get over the top here, and I think I'm going to get a brilliant view of Grisdale Tarn. Look at that. So that's it, Grisdale Tarn. The challenge today is going to be getting to Patterdale and beyond, and maybe getting to Shap, because the weather is sort of going to be some showers, but tomorrow is going to be a lot of rain. So I really want to get cracking today, even though it's the first day. I want to get over the mountains out of the Lake District before all the rain sets in tomorrow. So I do have a bit of pressure to get out of here, but I want to make the most of it while I'm here as well. But I don't really want to be here in torrential rain again. So I think I've got another 2 hours to go to Patterdale. It's pretty much all down through the valley, Grisdale. It's not quite as bad now, and the path is getting a bit easier, not so craggy as I get to Roofweight Lodge. This is Mountaineers Outward Bounds, Haweswater. It's quite intense, isn't it, this walk? But part one is just getting to Patterdale, and part two is going to be going over some higher elevation than this afternoon, and then hopefully down the other side. We'll have to wait and see. I need to film this. Can you see a shadow? I've got a shadow. Actually got some sunshine. I think that's the first time in the Lake District I've experienced sunshine. So I've just bumped into Mark here, who's also walking the coast to coast, and he said, he asked me if I did YouTube because he said he'd seen my video.
Yeah, I watched you last time and you had that catastrophic fall.
Yeah.
On the way down from Grasmere. Yeah, just hope the weather holds out for you this time.
Yeah,
You get as much as you've done as you want to.
that's right. So here it is. This is Patterdale. Hopefully won't be needing them later. So I need to make a decision. It's coming up to 2 o'clock, and should I push on to do the 8 hours across through the mountain to Shap, which will be pretty intense, I'd imagine. Should I camp here? I'm inclined to push on and try and get through the Lake District in the decent weather, if this is decent weather. I think it is, so I can get to Shap, but it will mean walking until it gets dark. Track to Angle Tarn and over the hill. It's 8 hours to Shap. It's 2 o'clock. It's a big ask, but at the very least I want to get up over the top and down the other side somewhere, even if I don't make it all the way to Shap. Here goes. This is going to be brutal again, but I think the sun is out. Got to make the most of today's weather. Saying goodbye to that valley and onwards. Made it to Angle Tarn. This is one of the most beautiful tarns. This is quite a popular place to wild camp, so it gets quite busy. You can see someone's got a blue tent over there, and this is where I think Grant wanted to camp the first night. We sort of thought maybe camp here, so I'm literally going to push on, keep walking. I feel fine so far. Over the next ridge, which is going up for another to 700 meters. The highest point, going to go over the highest point on the south coast path. On the way to Little Knots. We've got sunshine. Is Haweswater. Beautifully sunny now. Haweswater on the right, and then Little Knots straight ahead. Footpath goes right over the top. But what a perfect day to go over the top of this. So this is going to be a lovely evening out, walking into the evening. This is the highest point soon. It's going to be windy. Here. It's nice this side of this wall. It's my fresh spring water. Can't get much fresher than up here, can you? Well, what a day. I'm so happy. This has been much better than I expected. I've done so many miles and I'm going to do more as well. I'm just going to push on. I'm in the groove now. Cloud is coming in. I think this is where I go left here. Away from the cloud. I think this is it. I think I'm this way along the edge. Look at this. Look at that. It's amazing the views you get up here, isn't it? The clouds are sweeping in now at about, what, 800 meters. And then through the valley we've got sunshine over there. And that's where I'm sort of heading down that way. Up over here. Along this ridge and down the other side down to that reservoir down there. So I wonder if I'll beat the cloud, or am I going to be in the cloud? Anyway, I've got my wet weather gear on just in case. So the clouds are sweeping in around me. I'm on this very clear footpath, so I'm not worried. And I've got my wet weather gear. And I know once this gets around the ridge, I'm going down there towards that reservoir. So although the weather is coming in, I'm sort of getting out of it now. And then I'll be in the valley where it's more manageable then. But yeah, I don't think I'll be camping up here tonight. Even though it is beautiful at the moment. What amazing views. Here it comes, look. Really getting foggy now. What an amazing view. I mean, pretty soon I might not have that view anymore. You can see it's going down that view. I've got the GPS. Shows me exactly where I am, even if I've got no signal. It pinpoints me on the map, on the Ordnance Survey map. Even if it was totally foggy, and even if it was dark, I could still find my way out of here, I think. So don't worry about me. Highest point of the coast to coast, and now this is the descent. As I go down, I'll get out the wind and things will get a little bit more normal. Well, I'm still making my way down here, down this crag. Very challenging, taking me a while. Still not down to the lake, it's such a long way down. But I'm making progress, hopefully you'd be down soon. And I've got a bit of news. I'm going to be staying in Shap. So my pod is booked already. Grant has phoned ahead and booked my pod. So I need to get there before they close. I don't know what time they're going to close. And they've also saved some food for me. Some dumplings and Yorkshire puddings. So thanks Grant for organising that. Now I've got to just walk, I don't know how many miles, probably 6-7 miles, I know at least, before I can sit down with my my stew and Yorkshire puddings and then get in my pod. Absolutely brutal. So if you're going to do this, you really have to be prepared for that, with walking sticks to lower yourself down. It's not really a walk, it's an obstacle course. This descent took a lot longer than expected. I mean, it's so steep and challenging on the legs. You can see I'm losing daylight now. The sun's going down over there. I reckon I've got another hour and a half of daylight, something like that, so it will just be head torch time, I think. I'll be doing the coast to coast into the darkness. I'm going to get to this pub for my stew and my pod. The pod is like just a little thing where you put your camping mat in. Oh, my leg's burning. So that's the beautiful view of the reservoir. Got to walk all the way around. Looks quite far. Losing light. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to be walking in the dark. This is the last of the Lake District now. The last lake, I think. I'm going to get my head down and get to Shap. Okay, so I'm still walking around the lake. I've been walking around for about 2 hours now. I'm still not around the lake. So it's dark and head torch on, walking into the night. It's about 9:30 now, so I'm really pushing it, to be honest. I've thought about just camping somewhere, to be honest, twice, but what puts me off is the fact that the storm's coming through. So I prefer to keep on moving. And also there's very few places along here you can actually put a tent or anything. It's thick bracken and stuff like that, and very slopey. It would be tempting if I saw a perfect spot. Maybe if we just keep walking for another 2 hours, maybe, who knows, I might get to the pub, but I really think it's probably going to be closed by then. So it's always an adventure, isn't it? Always an adventure, never quite sure what's going to happen. So this is something new, literally walking through a field in the middle of nowhere, following the Ordnance Survey by on the satellite, even with no footpath in places. And it is still supposed to be the coast to coast, going towards Shap. It's now I think getting up to 11 o'clock. Time is running out. I can't wait to get there at this point. Here's another turnstile. So hiking at night, nothing will stop me getting to Shap today. Okay, so I've made it to Shap, can you believe it? It's 12:30 AM, 30 minutes past midnight, and the guy at the pub is still holding my place for me. What an amazing guy. So literally 5-10 minutes. Wow. So I've done it. So I've walked 24 miles through the mountains. It's ridiculous really, but I just wanted to get out of the lakes today. I'm going to sleep well tonight, that's for sure. It took a little bit longer than expected. I knew it was going to be a late one. But anyway, I'm going to, a few minutes more, and I'm going to be in my pod in the land of Nod. I'll probably say goodnight now. I made it, I'm safe, and what a start to the coast to coast. 24 miles today. Wow, I've never done 24 miles. And not like through mountains, so that's definitely, I'm definitely happy about that, but it hasn't come without a bit of a sacrifice, but it's going to be worth it. So here is the beer garden at the Crown Inn, fully recommended, the Crown Inn. And I stayed in this pod, like you've probably seen a lot of people do this here. You can camp in the garden. I think it's £5 for a tent, £10 for a pod. So, and Mark saved this pod for me, so I was in there. That's where I slept last night, perfectly dry, no problems. You can see it's a real drizzly day, so I'm gonna get some waterproofs and set off 20 miles to Kirby Stephen hopefully.